Like, comment, and subscribe.
Welcome to NBNR, the authority on unfiltered opinions and authentic player insight for Nebraska athletics. Connect with us on Twitter, Instagram, and at NBNRPodcast.com.
We have a saying, no block, no rock.
You know, we just really love Utter. He's a junkyard dog.
Kenny Bell ran up to me. He's like, you know what you just did?
You get mad when you go get in the portal and go to another podcast?
You know, usually dumbbells are in pairs. They had 5 dumbbells.
Dang on it, Muhammad!
GBR. The Nebraska Brewing Company Barrel Room, 108th and Harrison, Lewiston, Nebraska, 68128. Seeing as NBC is, I guess, our primary sponsor, let's talk about the drinks we are drinking real quick, fellas. Old Reliable, Pickle Fight. They have pickle beer here. Amy, I'm just saying, you might think it's weird. Maybe it is a little bit, but it's really, really good.
It's you, so yeah, it's weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cheers to that. Yeah, there we go. See?
Always. I never turn down an opportunity to cheers.
Right? It's getting another release in cans in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Early May.
I'm there.
That's what I know.
I'm there, baby.
Early
Hy-Vee, I'm cutting people in line. I'm shoving people out the way. Give me my pickle fight.
That feels uncalled for, but okay.
No, we encourage
like
it.
You're going to have a fight for pickle fight.
Bruh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a thing.
The little
Like
pickle.
we don't call it that for nothing, dude. Yeah. Give me the pickle thing. Connor, spiel, go.
I am drinking Pilsner. However, I know it was 2 weeks ago that we had our last episode. At that time, we did not have Squeeze the Day out.
No.
And I will say, if we do get to a break, I know recently we've been going no break just because we've been having a lot of fun. We haven't been doing it. If we do take a break today, I will be coming back with a Squeeze the Day. It is in cans now. Check your retailers. But yeah, today is Pilsner.
Connor, we're drinking Squeeze a Day, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's back.
It's got the
We're
representation
drinking
right over
it.
here. Yeah.
Yes. It's a fantastic beer. Perfect for a nice sunny day or really windy day. If
Really
you look
windy.
outside, you could probably blow away. But no, the beer it will blow you away as well.
People
And-
are saying.
Yeah.
People are saying beer of the summer.
It probably could be. Could be
100%.
could be the summer beer of 2024. Just saying.
Yeah.
So
People are talking.
I started off with Squeeze the Day. Now I'm on the EOS Hefeweizen.
fantastic beer.
Just like so, right now it's just going to be Squeeze the Day and Hefeweizen for me. Like those are just the
At
two,
least you'll change it a
two
little
best
bit.
beers. Yeah,
Like forever.
yeah. I mean, like Taco Vesa was a phase.
Yeah.
But now I'm on the Hefeweizen and Squeeze the Day now that it's like summer
It's
coming up.
back.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
back.
Okay.
So yeah,
Hey, let's throw it over to our special guest, Amie Just, sports columnist from the Lincoln Journal Star.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I'm feeling a little weird, like you said.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get this thing rolling. What are you drinking in that cup there?
I don't know its official name, but I'm drinking the mango seltzer.
Mango seltzer is actually the
Oh,
official
wow.
name. Yeah, there's
Great-
no real official
great
name.
marketing.
Just mango-
Super
listen,
creative. I love it.
Yeah, whoever does their marketing here really sucks at their job.
I wouldn't say that. Just there's opportunities for growth.
Yeah.
That's Connor. Connor's the
no,
marketing
it's me.
guy here.
It's
I
me.
know. That's why I was looking at you when I said it.
You
Yeah.
have a way with words, being very nice. It could be mean.
Yeah, no,
Diplomatic.
see-
we'll call it diplomatic.
See, that's not a, like,
Yeah.
if we give Connor shit, it's
Yeah, I've already
We
got
go.
an ego. So like any compliments I get are just fueling it. These guys help bring me back down to earth.
You have an ego? Interesting.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh,
yeah.
You
It's
have a
about very
mustache and
few
an ego.
things. First of all,
And
the
then your
is great.
mustache has an ego.
I will shout back out to like a year and a half ago, Chris Schmidt on air talking about how great my mustache was. So thank you, Chris. And my mustache is great.
Yep.
So suck it, Mike.
There's two people who think your mustache is great. You and your mom.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And Chris Schmidt, apparently.
Chris Schmidt he's very convincing.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Great guy.
Even when he lies.
His voice is very,
Even when he
His
like,
voice is insane.
Yes.
I love him.
Yes.
It's very distinctive. He smokes 10 packs a day.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
But he
sounds like
doesn't.
Yeah, he
But he
doesn't
doesn't.
smoke. He
No.
was adamant. He's never smoked in his life.
Can you imagine him as like a baby? It was probably just like, wow, wow. Goo goo gaga.
He's just, I feel like he's always sounded like a grown man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, we love Chris. Okay.
We could just keep going with that probably for a long time.
Yeah.
And just for your sake, we will not do that. So, Amy, this Saturday, we have a football game this Saturday.
technically.
We
yes.
think.
I mean, we don't know the format exactly. We don't know if it's going to be like an actual football game or whatever. And usually, like when we think about past spring games, a lot of the time, Mike, what?
Nothing. Keep going.
Can you push your microphone down just a little bit? There we go.
Oh, yeah. You can adjust the height too. You got
It's going into her forehead.
Amy, you got
I didn't want to mess with anything.
No,
in case it
no. That is your mic today.
You sound like
Whatever
a mouse.
you need to do.
well,
Okay, hold on. Mike, we got to plug while we're here, while we're situating the microphone.
That's a sticky situation.
Oh, it is.
From our friends at Benson Honey Farms.
There we
if you
go.
want the best
Beautiful.
raw honey here, local raw honey here in the state of Nebraska, go to bensonhoneyfarms.com. Use the promo code GBR and get 20% off your first purchase. Oh my gosh.
Sticky situation.
Put it
Sticky
on
situation.
your Honey Nut Cheerios.
Mike
Get
was
that
like,
extra honey.
the reason we were laughing is because Mike's like, hey, move her microphone down. And he kept saying it. And I'm like, I'm fucking scared, Mike.
you think I'm gonna fight you?
I don't know what was gonna happen.
Just invades your whole space there.
We did not have Amy go through a metal detector when she came in. She might have a knife.
Right.
Yeah. Women's fashion, there's no room in pockets for any
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
fair.
True.
Do you have pockets? Like I know that's like a big like women's-
Technically,
Yeah. Not enough for a knife though.
no.
No.
Thank
definitely
God.
not.
All right, we didn't need a metal detector.
Brass
today, boys.
knuckles, though, she's got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the spring game.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
God dang it, Mike.
We don't know the format.
No. He
Yeah.
interrupted for a good reason. That was a
Yeah.
good reason.
Yes.
Now we can hear Amy.
We can hear her.
I do sound like a mouse sometimes, but that was a little much.
It was in your forehead.
Moving on.
Her forehead talks. Okay, shut up. Spring game. Usually, like the narrative is you can't really take too much away from the spring games, right? It's kind of fun. It's a crapshoot of whatever. But like last spring game was one of those rare ones where maybe at the time when you're watching it, you're thinking, it's just a spring game. It's fine.
Yeah. The turnovers.
But lo and behold, you got 8 turnovers. And a couple months later, you're looking back and going, I think that spring game meant a lot.
Yeah.
I think there was some things there that we saw that
Gave
were,
you a glimpse.
It's
for
called
sure.
it's called foreshadowing. I don't know if you're familiar with this term, this English term, foreshadowing. The hints of things to come later. That spring game last year was like Edgar Allan Poe levels of foreshadowing right there.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, Amy, your thoughts. True freshman quarterback, like
Two of us. Two of us.
Yeah, 2 of them.
excuse me. Yes.
How
could I
dare
forget?
you forget about
I
Danny
know.
Kaelin?
And I am
The sacrilege.
I know.
Yes.
I'm trying to be the guy that's like, try to remember that there's other dudes in the room, but sometimes it's hard to remember that there's other dudes in the room sometimes. When you got this dude who's our QB1, right? Make no mistake, right? What do you think? Crazy?
I mean, I'm not going to say anything decisive in April because it's April.
Okay.
That's super fair.
Right. Yeah, but that's
Are you
you're being
leaning-
rational.
are
I don't
you-
like that. I don't like rational.
I don't like being wrong.
Amy, are you personally leaning in any direction? Like, obviously, we're not making any blanket statement for the university of the program. Are you leaning personally in any way that you think Dylan is our quarterback, or maybe this is a competition?
Hour. Speak for yourself. I went to Kansas.
No, I said our.
Shock.
So I think I'm not going to read into a ton of what happens on Saturday, but it will inform how I feel about the position in the offseason
Fair.
until we get back to training camp and all of those things. But yeah, that is like the number one position group that I'll be watching on Saturday, just to see what they look like, how their throws look. It's supposed to be a beautiful day by all accounts. So no wind, no snow.
Last year's was like,
it was brutal.
It was terrible.
Cold. Yeah.
Oh, we did a live show at that spring game. And
It was
we
brutal.
froze.
It was gross.
I do love that you
Not
mentioned
the show, the weather.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Both. I love that you mentioned the sacrilege of saying the true freshman QB, because everything, at least on my end, that I have seen of Danny Kaelin so far, he looks far better than I expected him to look at this current moment.
Yeah.
I mean, and granted, that's a very limited sample size. Like, we're not seeing everything, and that's, intentional.
Yes.
It is intentional, but Danny Kaelin is surpassing my expectations so far. And if that's actually how he looks, I'm very excited for the future. It also makes me a little bit scared, because if Danny Kaelin is actually that good, there's going to be a number of programs that are looking at him for next season.
Yeah, that makes sense. He came here for a reason, right?
Sure.
So did Dylan. I think that regardless of how the fall shakes out, like, they're making each other better. And I think that Heinrich being involved in that too, they're all making each other better. A rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
sort of mindset. And the coaches have talked about that. I was admittedly on vacation when the quarterbacks spoke, because I needed a break.
Yeah.
Shocking. That I took vacation that I'm allowed to take. But
How dare you?
In the spring?
Sacrilege. Hey.
Okay, don't use my word.
As long as you don't say foreshadowing later for anything.
Okay. But yeah, that's the position on offense that I'm going to be watching like the most on Saturday, just because, like everyone, I have questions, right? Not bad questions, just general curiosity as to how that's going. But on the flip side, I don't want to read too much into it right now, but I do want to pay attention to it because I think it will ultimately matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said the words, I have questions.
I have questions.
You, in particular, asked Coach Rule a question at the most recent press conference.
I did.
Do you remember what the question was, and do you remember what his response was?
Was it the question about the communication in the helmet?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
Really wants to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Do you
We're
remember
all-
what What Matt Rule his spiel about communication in helmets?
He talked for a very long time.
He did, yeah.
About it.
Spark Notes version.
He likes it. And the good thing from his perspective is that the only one who doesn't know the only one who knows different is Heinrich. Right. So you have the two true freshmen coming in. They haven't had it any other way. And they experimented, words are hard, I guess, with it last spring. And so they've messed around with it a little bit, which is to their benefit. Just reading the tea leaves and knowing this was probably coming. But he's a big fan of it. On offense, for sure. Defense is a work in progress.
Yeah.
So that whole helmet communications thing, there's like some stipulations to that, right? Like
Yeah.
It's the first 15 seconds, or like the last 15 seconds, you can't
Yes.
have any
Yes.
communication.
Mhm.
I don't know. How do you pull it? And I know most people don't snap the ball really with more than 15 seconds. People like to kind of run down the clock, but like, does someone just
No, it
Yes.
automatically
It gets
turns off.
automatically
automatically-
cuts
It
off,
automatically
yes.
turns off. Yeah. It like goes with the play clock. So it'll
Wow.
automatically turn off.
okay?
And then on the defense side of the ball, generally your middle linebacker will have one as well. But he
Green
said
John
that-
Bullock,
yes,
The green dot.
the green
That's
dot.
what they're called.
the green
Yes.
dot. Okay. And so over under, how many technical difficulties per game happen?
Well,
I don't think they will.
Yeah, I don't remember
not.
ever watching like an NFL game and they're like, "Please hold, we're having problems
Yeah.
with our communications and our helmets."
That's
Like,
true.
I've never seen it.
There has been communication issues. It just doesn't get reported. You just have to deal with it.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
deal with it.
Yeah.
I guess sometimes you do see them like,
Yeah. That's too bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's
figure it
my
out.
big board with SpongeBob? I need my SpongeBob board. I don't know what I'm calling here.
So I think this will be really interesting for college football because the days for guys like Connor Stallions are gone.
Good.
Now,
Yeah.
Goodbye.
now programs are going to be hiring signals intelligence guys.
Yeah.
Hey, hack that
Well-
frequency for me. Just get me the direct play call.
Sometimes you need someone shitty to do something shitty to reveal, hey, changes need to be made.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
and
this is
that
a
was-
long time coming.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I'm sure Stallions was just the final straw of like, all right, enough of this.
Well, like
Let's
when
modernize a little bit.
they're using it at the high school level
Right.
and they're using it at the pro level, but we're skipping the middle level of like, what are we doing here? There's multi-million-dollar everything in college athletics is just millions and millions of dollars. Like, what are we doing? We're hanging up pictures of SpongeBob instead of just putting it in the
Yeah.
helmets.
Sydney Sweeney's up there doing it or whatever. Yeah, that's the play.
Well, and so like a separate sport, but kind of the same thing. The only, to my knowledge, the only basketball league in the world that is using quarters is women's college.
No.
Is
No.
WNBA
No. 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 No.
Well, men's is using halves.
Men's
Men's are the
college
only one
basketball
that
are
is
the
halves.
only ones
Yes,
that
that is
use halves.
weird.
Everyone
Okay, so I'm backwards.
else-
I'm backwards.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
There
And
are
colorblind.
some states. Don't be mean.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
No,
It's
no,
fine.
we have
He can say it. I gave him the pass.
He's an idiot.
All right. Your words, not mine. But yeah, no. Men's college basketball is the only one to use halves.
Okay, so I'm backwards. Yeah. Sorry.
Some states for high school have halves, but it's very few and far between. But yeah, every other level of organized basketball uses the quarter system.
Interesting.
Okay, so since we're on this kind of thing about format, I'm curious to know how they're going to format this spring game.
I don't know.
What do you think?
All I know is that Matt Rule said it's going to be pretty vanilla. That's the only indication that he's given thus far.
Do you think they'll do anything with the three teams, the Bug Eaters, Old Gold
Maybe.
Knights?
That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be cool.
You know what I mean? I don't know how you do that because you would have a team not technically not really doing anything.
I bet they do this. They're going to have the video team make a video beforehand that's going to introduce the spring game, the rules and the teams. Like the video team, they've been kind of setting the stage with all these different episodes,
Right.
and they'll have one that just introduces it and they'll walk out to it. And it'll be the Gold Knights and the whatevers.
Rattlesnake Boys.
Rattlesnake Boys
Yeah.
and what's the last one? Bug Eaters.
Old
Gold Knights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeff Old Gold Knights.
I think that'd be a weird format.
It'd be fun though.
Well, here's
Well,
the thing.
It would
there's-
just be too confusing.
There's logistical issues with that, right? Because like, how many jersey colors do they have?
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
Red. You could do red, green, white. You know, I don't know.
That'd be a lot of green jerseys.
There'd be a lot of green jerseys.
Yeah, and that would
It'd be
be
And they don't
That
have
would be
enough money
bad,
to do
yeah.
that. That'd be
Oh, stop it. I guess my question is like, when it comes to spring game, I guess that's supposed to be kind of fun, right? You've
Yeah.
had a crap ton of practices leading up to this. This is kind of a fun thing for the fans, whatever. Like maybe they need to do a different format rather than this is just another regular game. I don't know. Make it fun, make it cool, make it
but
make it an
don't
event.
make it too confusing to where people don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Like when I was in college, because there were so many guys that were hurt, like in the spring for 1 year at the University of Kansas, they did like offense versus defense, and like this thing got 2 points and this thing got 1 point, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why?
just make it standard scoring.
It's like a tackle for loss was like 2 points. And like there was like the point systems for the defense versus the offense. And it's just kind of strange.
Well, I think if you stick with like the format of what they've done so far with the three teams they've got during this camp, doing it for the spring game and just having that draft instead of, ones, 2s, whatever, having that. And again, we talked about getting these 2s and 3s guys reps, building that confidence. I think if you do that and still keep it with the two teams, standard scoring, whatever, I think you get a little bit more of an even playing field, and you're getting these reps in for guys that when they get to the field during the season, because there is a high chance that injuries are going to happen and you're going to see the field, build that confidence now and get through it immediately. I think that could be a fun format to do and cycle in the entire team.
yeah.
Yeah. He did say though that I guess he hasn't totally announced that if the veteran guys are going to play or not, but it seemed like he was leaning towards those guys aren't going to play.
Yeah. Like Ty
So-
Robinson, those guys, like they're not
Ty Nash, Bryce Benhart, Ben Scott.
Isaac.
Yeah,
Are they
Isaac Gifford.
gaining much from a spring game?
Probably not.
No.
It's just more of like the fan enjoyment of seeing those guys out there. But
You'll
I don't
see 'em
care.
in September.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah. I guess, is there any, we're all going to say the true freshman quarterbacks. That's the easiest answer, right? You go to the stadium on Saturday, your eyes are magnets to those guys. You're not really watching anybody else.
That's not true.
And that's where I want to ask you, is there a particular position group or a player that you're hoping will pop and like stand out from this?
Yeah, so I want to see what the inside linebackers look like, just because, you lost 2 really good guys there.
You have questions.
Okay. I do.
We all have
I
questions.
do have questions.
It's not
Just
just you.
Just like, what will that look like? How are they just like building that chemistry? What's the rotation looking like there? And then your starting corners.
The Hills.
Yeah. And if Bly and Tommy don't play, then it gets really interesting at corner.
Yep.
Yeah, like all young guys that have probably not.
I was gonna say,
played
when you
football.
say
Well, you got
interesting-
Hartzog that would probably move over there because that's what he played last year.
No, they're not moving Hartzog.
Yeah.
He's playing safety.
That is what they said.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's not going to be Hartzog. It's going to be a bunch of guys we don't know, which would be interesting.
Very interesting.
Right, but you don't think for 1 second that they wouldn't just put Hartzog over there
in
if
a
both
pinch?
of them went down?
In a pinch?
You're
That's
telling me you
not-
don't think
So-
that the guy that was in that spot all last year for their defense, that
They
in
have
a
him-
pinch they wouldn't move him over?
maybe in a pinch, but they said they have him working at safety.
Yeah, because they got Bly and they got
Tommy,
Tommy,
the Hill brothers.
the Hill brothers.
What
Lock it down.
What I find very interesting is Amie just named 2 units that 2 weeks ago when we had this discussion,
Mhm.
none of us named.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
We were very running back and receiver heavy.
You see, the reason why I'm not going to read a whole lot into the running backs is because like half of those guys are still working back from their rehab.
Sure.
So why would I read into something
In April.
where yes, but like why would I read too much into something where the starting 2 guys just like aren't going to be even remotely available? So
You think Gabe is still in that
I
conversation?
think so, as long as he recovers, and is similar to who he was before. I think so.
Okay.
I have no reason to think otherwise. Now, once we get to training camp, then, I'm willing to be swayed in my opinion on that. But I just think that he's too good to not be your lead back until proven otherwise.
Okay.
I think like most fans, you get Dowdo who comes in from Oregon. And
Yeah.
of course it's like, you want to hear his name a lot, that we talk about how running backs, when they're really good, it's like, you could tell like that,
Mhm.
that's the dude right there. And so I think we were just wanting to hear his name a lot, and you just really haven't so far. And hey, maybe spring game, technically it's a game. You got fans in the stands, lights are on, maybe, I don't know.
For TV purposes, they are usually on.
Yeah, lights are on. He's a gamer, maybe he's just a gamer, where in practice he's like, he doesn't really stand out, but maybe in a game he
We
flips a switch and he becomes a different dude. hopefully.
to his defense, I don't think we've talked to EJ Barthel yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What's up with that?
There are so many assistants and only so many days we have media availability.
That's fair.
I guess that's an answer to the question.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you think with Dowdle, like, is it a little bit of keeping him out of the spotlight just during this kind of transition phase?
I don't think so. There's plenty of young guys in the room that they like. And, again, we haven't talked to the running backs coach yet. So
Fair.
I think he will be insightful one way or the other on that.
Yeah.
I
What
think
is-
that'll be tomorrow, maybe.
So
Okay.
the other position group we talked about a lot the last episode was the receiver room. What are your thoughts on that? Is that something that you have questions about? Is that
Yes.
something that you're concerned about? What are your thoughts?
I'm not going to heap a bunch of praise or a bunch of concern on them until we kind of see what's going on. Again, not reading too much into things in April, but what do guys look like? How have the guys who've played multiple sports, I guess you don't play track, but like
Sure.
participated in multiple sports, what those guys look like? How involved are they going to be? Because, they're still in their other season, right? So what does that look like? How have the younger guys continued to develop? What do your older guys. There aren't a ton of older guys in that room.
Right.
But
And Jamal Banks is like the senior, and Nair.
Yep.
Those are your senior guys.
yeah.
You know.
So what do they look like? We've seen flashes of things at practice, but obviously when you can see like a full scrimmage or however they're going to do their format, you can learn a little bit more.
So you mentioned in that answer, you mentioned dual sport athletes, and maybe I'm crazy, but it feels like
Probably.
we're seeing them at a no, definitely. But it feels like I'm seeing more dual sport athletes from this team. Do you see the benefit to that? Do you see maybe a little bit of risk as far as injury goes? Obviously,
There's risk of injury just living your life. I can't remember who it was. There was some Major League Baseball player a while ago that got put on the IL or whatever they're calling it now, because he hurt his thumb carrying his bags into his house. Like you can get hurt doing anything.
That was Salvi. I think.
Chopping vegetable. Yeah, that was probably your boy.
I think
That
it
was Salvi?
That was Salvi. It was like
Soft.
2 years ago, and he hurt it.
Soft.
He hurt himself carrying his bags into his like hotel.
Yeah,
Like-
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can get hurt doing literally anything. So you have to balance that with the additional risk that you have of doing anything. I think it's good. You look at Nash specifically and what he's been able to do since December is absolutely fucking mind-blowing.
It is.
for not wrestling for however
4
long.
years.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and then coming out looking like that, making weight. He was at what, like
330.
330 and
Yeah.
got down to 285
Yeah.
from November to January.
And then did he qualify for nationals?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's absurd.
Yes.
At a D1 level, like that's absurd.
Yes. He had not wrestled in 4 years. Now, granted, he was very, 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 very good.
Yes.
He never lost
Mm-hmm.
in high school. Ever. And then his first match as a collegiate athlete, he won again by pin in the first period. It was one of the most electric things I've ever seen. It's
Were
like
you there?
that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So cool.
One of my best like columns of the year is from that day because I knew going in exactly what I wanted to write about. I knew exactly who I wanted to talk to. I had a very clear vision beginning to end of what I wanted that to look like. So I got to talk to a bunch of the people that I wanted to talk to. And it's great. I love when I have a vision like that. But yeah, that and like volleyball day, like two of them, and then Purdue men's and then Iowa women's were the, and the Nebraska, Wisconsin volleyball, the 5.
You just had a great year.
You had a fantastic year.
Yeah. Pat yourself on the back.
I did great. No, those 5 sporting events were some of like the coolest of my career, and they've happened all like in the last like academic year.
Now it's all downhill from here.
Don't say
Don't
that.
say
No.
that.
Yeah.
Well, volleyball day. How many of those are you gonna have?
That's
I
true.
mean, that was
That's true.
otherworldly.
That was cool.
I
You have
cried.
other people copying
Mm-hmm.
what Trev set up. Yeah, I said his name.
Texas Trev.
You said you cried?
I did multiple times.
It's. I mean, it's again. It's
it
just
was
one of those.
awesome.
It was. It's not just a sporting event. It's
Yeah.
takeoff sporting event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Plain.
and it will be like just a seminal moment for like the little kids who were there. And that was what my column was about. It was about talking to the little like 8, 9, 10-year-old girls, talking to the members of the team, talking to the founding mothers of Nebraska volleyball and like what that event meant to all of them and like interweaving it all together.
Yeah.
It was cool. But yeah, the Nash thing, circling all the way back to that was amazing. And like what he was able to do to go from football to wrestling will inevitably help his football career because nutrition and his coaches realized he doesn't need to play at 330. If he plays at 315, 310, it's going to be a little lighter, a little leaner, maybe faster, more explosive off the edge. That can help set him up for whatever he wants his NFL career to be. And so I think in his case, it's a positive. And then when I think of the jumpers and sprinters, Malachi Coleman excluded because he's working through an injury and he didn't get to participate in track for the last 2 seasons, which is a big bummer because I can't wait to watch him when he's inevitably healthy and gets to participate in that. But those guys, I think it's going to do incredible stuff for them because they're working on their sprints. They're working on explosion. Like that will help. Even if it's not a direct translation to football, it will translate in some way. And then, I mean, like you just look at Jeremiah Charles and that man could do literally anything athletic.
Yeah.
Like, walk onto the basketball team. They'll take you.
Well, after seeing him dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you mentioned Nash and wrestling, obviously. And this is, I don't think a hot take personally, but wrestling is a sport that absolutely emphasizes lateral movement.
Mhm.
And for a lineman, that is incredibly valuable. So, like, again, it's maybe not about the physical aspect of it, but about the technicality of everything.
Yeah. And how it's just you out there and your opponent. You have no one else to blame if things go wrong, and you have no one else to celebrate if things go right. Like, it's all you. Granted, your coaches and your teammates help train you, of course, but like when you are in the arena, it is just you. It is not the guy next to you fucking up his assignment. It's just you.
Mhm.
And I think that there's a power to that too. And just knowing that you have to be accountable for the smallest of movements, because it's game over if you're not. And I think that part also translates well to football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like that Matt Rule is just open about letting guys do other sports and stuff like that. I don't know if past coaches were against that or not, but Matt Rule is just like, I want my guys playing as many sports as possible.
It seems like a higher frequency, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but he supports it a lot.
Before.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been a while though.
Yeah, it's been a while, but like it's not like this new revelation. that
No.
I'm not saying
No,
that
we
we
had-
was the first guy to do it.
We had
It
guys
just seems
back
like
in the day that were playing on the baseball team and stuff like that. I mean, Ty Kildow played on the baseball team and played on the football team, and I mean under Bo. So
Hey, Turner Gill played baseball.
yeah,
too.
Turner Gill played baseball. So I mean,
Long
it's
time ago.
happened. It's just it
Who
seems
were
like the
the-
spotlight is on it now.
Who are the football guys that had to go out for basketball?
So it was
Sorry, I wasn't here for it.
well, one transferred.
I wasn't here for this.
Yeah, and
It was like
didn't one of them come in at the end of one of those games?
Banks,
in the
Banks,
and
offensive lineman Banks, and then
Brant Banks.
Yeah,
Brant
Banks
was one of them. And
because
I have his
face right here. It's right there.
That's your face.
Well,
Yeah.
his face. What's his name?
God damn it.
Sorry. I
No,
just,
it's funny.
Mike's looking it up.
Listen,
Here we
I-
go. Got it.
Got it.
Let's see.
He said he got it. He ain't got it.
I got
it's
it.
loading.
Sorry, I'm out of minutes.
Well, when you say you get,
I'm out
All
of
right.
minutes.
Noah Vedral
okay.
Oh,
and
there
Brant
it is.
Banks.
Okay.
Hey,
So
so I
I
got one right.
I knew it was Brant for sure. I just
And then I was like, okay, the guy transferred. Oh no, it's literally Noah Vedral,
Hey,
the quarterback.
Yeah. What's Noah Vedral up to these days?
Well, he went to Rutgers and
Yeah.
he was the starter there, so good for
Mhm.
him.
But yeah,
Lost to
anyway,
Nebraska.
I just knew that there were some like more recent.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's a good thing. I think that if you can be more well-rounded in literally anything that you do, it's not just sports. I think it's better for you in the long run.
Well, and I mean, you're subjecting yourself to different types of training. I mean, I'm sure the wide receivers are working on sprints and things like that in the off season, but
It's
to have somebody go through track,
Yeah.
like it's 100% different.
I'd be just curious, just like if we could have a parallel universe where we could see a Nash football season without all this wrestling stuff before, and then this season where he's done all the wrestling stuff. I'd just be very curious to know, like, how much has his draft stock been helped by
Well,
going
we
through
get
all
to
this?
see
And
that
it's
this
like,
year.
Well, I'm saying I
Yeah.
wish there was a parallel universe where he didn't do all the wrestling
Oh.
stuff, and then we could see.
Oh, like,
Yeah, like
different
actually-
the entire time.
Yeah.
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 That would be kind of
That'd
cool.
be-
but
well,
I think you'll be able to see it firsthand this year, though.
Well, and I
Like,
think you'll
see his lateral movement, see his body shape, everything else that he learned back in college wrestling should
Yeah.
help.
I knew what you meant.
I know
Yeah.
what you meant to. I did too, but I'm just saying, like, you will get to see that.
Well, and I think
He's like, but it's going to happen.
No,
No,
not-
hold on a second. No,
I think it'll be easier to see too with the guys that are running track, looking at their speeds at the start of last season to this season, seeing if, like, I'm sure it did make an impact, but how much? Like, does the benefit outweigh the risk?
Yes and no. I mean,
I would assume it does.
you're wearing pads though. It's different.
No, I know, but like that's still going to translate to some sort of impact. I'm sure. I'm sure that will create some sort of impact.
And with
But
being
how
a
much?
receiver, you got to do this route running stuff, and you're not just going.
Well,
unless
Jalen
you're,
Lloyd
unless
did
you're
do that.
Malachi going.
Jalen Lloyd did
Yeah.
that last year. He went woo, and he just caught passes down the field.
Yeah.
So
Well, guess what? He's going to be probably even faster.
Yeah.
Well,
good.
And hey, you know what's really exciting? We have a quarterback that can throw the ball that far now.
Hey,
Well, look.
Yeah.
Heinrich threw the ball that far.
than one.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
More than one.
Okay, I
Okay.
understand that.
Amy,
That's
is there a world that Heinrich Harburg takes the snaps the first game?
like the starting snaps.
Yeah, like
I-
starts the first game.
Don't want to speak the thing that popped into my brain.
What does that mean?
No, I know what she's thinking. Don't ask.
I'm
You
not.
have to.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Say it.
You gotta.
No.
Does it start with an I?
Yes.
And rhyme with Schmingery?
I will not confirm or deny. But
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
Are you saying? Well, are you saying that's the only way that would happen? Say it. Don't say it. Say it.
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. That's kind of what we do.
I feel
here.
like Heinrich Harburg is an asset as an athlete, maybe not as much as a quarterback.
I would love to see more of how he was used in the Minnesota game.
As a tight end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like a Taysom Hill type wildcat.
Yes.
Guy.
Bingo, bango, bongo.
We've been
Let's go.
saying that for so long.
Yeah.
I love that. You like. I love what you just said.
I've said it for a long time too. I
That's-
just think that like Matt Rule says he believes in the philosophy of having the best athletes on the field at all times. And I believe that regardless of position, that Heinrich is one of the best athletes that they have.
Yes.
Sure.
And you saw Taysom Hill firsthand
I
because
did.
you covered the Saints.
Mhm.
I did.
And
It worked.
how was that?
It worked.
How did they practice? Like, did you get to
Yeah.
see all the practice and how they handled that?
Not every second of practice, but like, so he would spend part of practice with the quarterbacks, and then he would spend part of practice with the tight ends, and then part of practice with the special teamers, because he was also a gunner,
Yeah. A good one too.
Hey,
an incredible one.
would you say he was well-rounded?
Mm.
You said being well-rounded.
Yeah,
makes you-
I mean,
It was
yeah.
a joke.
Yeah.
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 It wasn't a good one,
Well-
but yeah, it was a joke.
I was trying to.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Where are you going with this?
Like, are you looking at me when you say that?
No.
Well-rounded.
No, she was mentioning,
yeah,
being well-rounded.
no, I
in
thought
all
you were like
aspects of
making a
life.
deeper joke than you
Yeah.
actually
No,
were
very
making.
surface level. I'm not that smart, Amy. You need to figure that one out.
Well, sorry for giving you more credit than you did.
Yeah.
My
I
bad.
appreciate
Well,
it.
okay, so you were talking about how Taysom Hill in practice was doing all these different things, and I feel like if you're Heinrich Harburg, you listen. If you're a quarterback, I feel like it's one of those things where, like, kind of got it or you kind of don't, right? And if you're splitting your time, like, first of all, I'll say it. Okay, you don't have to. I don't think he's got it.
Rude.
And I'll say it.
How dare you slander it?
Wait,
Hey,
got it
Party
as a
Catholic
player?
star.
No, it has nothing to do with where he's from. It has nothing to do, like, he's an excellent person. He gives a shit. He gives a lot of shits. Love that about him. But quarterback, don't see it. I don't think he's got it. And then if he is splitting time in practice with all these other
True
positions,
freshman.
if he's doing that, if he's splitting his time with
And
all these different
I
positions,
don't know if he's doing that. I'm just
Right.
saying that is what Taysom did when I covered the Saints.
right? So I'm just saying, if you want him to be a quarterback, don't have him practicing with the tight ends because he needs as many reps as he can get. Not. I don't need him standing over there with Fedoni and Carter. You know,
And Carter ain't
Hey,
even there yet.
Carter's not here yet.
He ain't even there yet. He went to
Eventually-
prom this week or some
eventually,
shit.
yes, he was. Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't need to see him with the tight ends doing other stuff. If you want him to be a freaking quarterback,
I do.
like commit.
Because
then.
I feel like he's only going to get so good because he's just not
right, he's.
naturally gifted as a
You
passer.
could say he's
Okay.
hit his ceiling already.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
gonna
think
go
he
that
has
far.
room to grow there. I'm just
Look-
saying, like, where do you see him? Like, where do you need him to be to actually play? And where are the other guys at now? I feel like wherever he's going to get to, those guys have already surpassed.
I think if you want Harburg to be a Taysom Hill type player, Taysom Hill is not the guy that's going to be passing all over you.
Right.
He's a guy that when he comes in, you're like, oh shit, we have to defend the run. right now.
And then he
and then
slings
he
it.
dumps one right over the top of you.
That
We don't-
Vikings playoff game up the middle to at the time Deontay Hardy.
Yeah.
It was very underthrown, but it worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't need like Harburg, in my opinion, like you said, I think as a passer has likely hit his ceiling. And I think as a rusher, he's already fantastic. I mean, he's not the best in the world, but he's fantastic for what we need him to do. As a tight end, again, like the Minnesota game, played pretty well. Got more targets than Fedoni.
He has
Yeah.
more Tigers than
Yeah.
Fedoni.
Let's work on his hands. And then if you want to work him into that QB room, you still have that, oh shit, this guy can run this ball on me. And I still have to worry about these shorter passes. I think working on him as a tight end, that's where I'd be placing my focus.
I just want to see him just doing like 500 jump passes in practice. Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, this is coming from me, and I recognize that he was dealt a crap hand, right? With Whipple not believing in him and not receiving a whole lot of quarterback training. And I'm sorry that happened, but it happened. We
Also-
cannot go back. I'm sorry that he missed out on those years of development, but he did. Like, what do you want me to say? I'm sorry.
And it's not like he was like a just like huge recruit
Right.
coming
it's not
out.
like he came out of
Yeah.
college with
Yeah.
the Raiola.
He played at
type
Kearney
numbers.
Catholic.
Hey,
Hey,
watch it.
Sacrilege.
Yeah.
just saying. They're not known for their great quarterback play.
Be nice.
I am nice.
Hey, there has to be a first.
We want him to be the best tight end in the damn country. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Best tight end at a Kearney Cat.
That'd be sweet.
Okay, what are we
so-
at?
What? Oh, time wise?
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep rolling.
Running
Okay,
through.
plowing.
So, Amy,
All
you covered teams in New Orleans. You said the Saints. I think you told me LSU and the Pelicans, right?
Yeah, so I covered the first season of Joe Burrow at LSU.
That's sweet.
With that Devin White, Grant Delpit, Greedy Williams team when they beat UCF in the Fiesta Bowl. And then I went on to covering the Saints and the Pelicans after that.
Okay.
But only briefly on the Pelicans. I was kind of like an interim person while we were waiting for someone else to get down there.
Gotcha. So my question is, now that you're part of Nebraska media, and I mean you have been for a little bit here, can you talk about like the differences of covering like major professional sports teams in LSU and like Nebraska, like the fishbowl that we live in? Are there similarities? Is there differences? What is it like?
So it's really different because you would think this wouldn't make sense, but there are so like few people covering the Saints on a daily basis. Like we had a group chat of the beat writers. It's like 4 people.
Wow.
4?
4 for an NFL football team
Mm-hmm.
that has won
was-
Super Bowls.
For true beat reporters for either digital or print media.
Wow.
So you have back then it was The Athletic. The Athletic does not cover New Orleans anymore other than the Pelicans. That's it. They don't have an LSU writer anymore. They don't have a Saints writer anymore. But
Wow.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
Curious. Yeah.
Not going down that rabbit hole. Because no one else cares but me. So
Might be interesting.
back then it was me and my beat partner Luke, and then ESPN and The Athletic, and that was it. And you had your columnists at the newspaper, and then all of your TV people and all your radio people. But in terms of like true beat reporters, it was different. And look, like you don't have the 24/7s and on threes and rivals in the NFL. Like that doesn't. There's no like real comparison except for the places that have like more like of a bloggy type or like the Locked On podcasts, I guess could be a similar comparison, I guess. But like you don't have that. So that decreases the amount of people that are there too. LSU, there were a bit more because you had rivals and 24/7 because this was pre on 3. But even then though, and we had 2 newspapers covering LSU at that time, and there was still nowhere near the amount of media that was covering LSU that currently covers Nebraska. And when I tell people that, they think that I'm crazy, or they look at me like I have 3 heads because they're like, but it's Nebraska. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm glad that so many people have jobs in this market and people find it all worth their while. Because we need more media jobs because they are few. I mean, I've been laid off twice already and I'm not even 30 yet. So the market's not the market. The industry itself has had some issues with that. So, but yeah, that's the biggest difference is that there are just so many people here, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time.
Because we give a shit. Like,
yeah, and that's really important. And not to say that people don't give a shit about LSU football though.
no, I just think it's different because there are more shows to watch in Louisiana.
Which is true.
This is the only show in town.
For the most part, yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's
Creighton
Nebraska
exists.
athletics. I mean, yeah,
Creighton
Creighton.
exists.
I mean, yeah.
You have to admit that they exist.
Yeah, sure.
We're willing to
They
admit that.
are a university
Yeah.
with the Blue Jay logo.
Yeah,
yes.
their fans love
And they-
Creighton basketball and they love Nebraska volleyball. They're fantastic.
They beat Nebraska baseball
They're-
all the freaking time.
Yeah,
They beat
Yeah.
Nebraska ball all the time.
I just
We know.
I can't stand the ones that are like, oh yeah, screw Nebraska basketball, but hey,
In a few months.
go Nebraska volleyball, go Nebraska football. God,
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah.
I did it in a nice way.
Yes, you did.
That was the nicest way I could have done it.
I will tell you what. I don't love Jayskers, but there is always room on the Husker football bandwagon. I'll take everybody.
I'm fine with the football thing. It's just
come home.
don't pick and choose on like, okay, if Creighton has basketball and volleyball and baseball and softball,
You should have football.
they don't have football. If
Hey,
they have
we've
those
never
other
lost to
sports,
Creighton football.
then wear blue on the other sports too. That's all I gotta say.
Well, how about this? You can cheer for Creighton basketball, right? You don't have to like Nebraska ball,
Yeah.
but like if you cheer for Nebraska football, don't come for the Nebraska ball folks and say F you, F this.
Yes.
Like,
Because
no,
we
come
root
on.
for the same
Jeez.
school.
Yeah.
Like, just don't be so anti, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
basically.
I
Don't be
opened up
trolling.
a
Only
can of
show in
worms.
town.
What was that?
I said I opened up a can of worms.
Yeah.
that
It's the
I-
only show in
Yeah.
town, Amy.
Amy, I'll ask a question that's not about this. So after covering so many teams, obviously you've got to see a lot of games and a lot of different sports. What is, for the teams that you've covered, like one of the coolest traditions or, like something that you've seen that these teams do? What is the coolest one? Is there one that gives you chills? One that's just really heartwarming?
Let me think.
It's a tough one to put you on the spot.
Well,
for.
you had-
I went to Kansas.
I did, and
Hey, basketball.
how dare you?
I was waiting for something to go straight to Kansas basketball.
Well,
Hey, Fog
that
Allen.
is where I was going.
Yeah,
I
I
just had to
figured.
think about it first.
I figured.
It's the rock chalk chant like in the waning moments of a game where you're gonna win with the waving the wheat.
Okay.
Like it's just when you're in Allen Fieldhouse and that's happening, like I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Like it's really cool. And even if you're not a KU basketball fan, if you can get tickets to go there and go watch a game, you should. It's just it's fun, it's historic.
Yeah, I had a basketball tournament in Kansas once, right before high school. And like I'm not a KU basketball fan by any means, but I told my mom, hey, let's drive up to Lawrence. It was like 2 hours away from where we were playing. And we walked around Fog Allen.
Yeah.
So it's like, like you said, it's just one of those places that,
It's cool.
come on, you're a sports fan. Duh.
Yeah.
It's right there. Of course you're going to go see it.
Yeah. So that's like the thing that sticks out to me most. Though I will say the volleyball tunnel walk for the stadium match was so cool.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. We were
in
on our way to Minnesota.
We were in Minnesota.
Oh, we were.
Yeah, we were doing our live show during the Nebraska volleyball day.
We got to watch it on TV. I can't imagine how cool it was in person.
It was really cool.
Yeah, I can
Um,
imagine.
Because like so they do like their own version of the tunnel walk, but it's super short
Mhm.
because the locker room is right next to the arena. So you don't get like the whole drawn out like suspense and all of the clapping and it's cool, but like that was cool.
Okay, hold on. So can we just talk real quick? Why does Nebraska volleyball? I get that they come out, they do the warm-ups, and then they go back in, and then they come back out for like the national anthem and all of this stuff. But like they don't do like a light show. They don't do fog. They don't do like anything when they
'Cause it
run
takes
out.
2 seconds for them to go from their locker room to the court.
Right. But I'm talking, you've got a national championship caliber volleyball team
Every
And
year.
Every
Also,
year.
just like
We want
not
fire.
the space. Like
Devaney is like,
it works for wrestling because you don't have the lower part of the bowl.
Yeah.
So like with volleyball, there's just not the space, I don't think.
All you need is the spot that they come out of. Like, you don't need something crazy. Like, I was down at Final Four for Tampa. And like they had the fog and they had the lights and stuff when they came running out of the tunnel. It can't be that difficult. It's not like you need a whole bunch of space to do that. It just blows my mind. I went to like a bunch of the volleyball matches to cover it for expecting them to go to the Final Four. And I was just like flabbergasted that they just kind of like, and here they are, and they like run out, and there's no lights, there's no anything. They just run out.
they
there,
don't need
everybody
extra
cheers.
shit.
Yeah, just win, baby.
I know that, Mike.
It just doesn't take as long. So like if you were to do like a light thing, it would last 15 seconds.
It'd be drawn out. You'd have to draw it out if you're trying to do it right,
But
right?
you could do player by player. I mean, again, there's not that many players.
Well, no, because
but then-
volleyball is they do they stare at each other and it's like, okay, here's your non-starters, here's your starting lineup. That's normal. But even the Final Four, it wasn't like it was this long drawn out thing. They just had the lights, the fog, and it was like a show.
Someone get Kyle a freaking fog machine.
Fog! Get him his damn fog.
I'm
You're
just
talking about
fog
fog,
machine.
Alan. Talks about fog.
Jesus.
This darn fog talk.
I
needs
told
a
you we
fog
hear
machine.
Jared scream every week.
I'm just
There it
saying,
is.
they're not putting respect on the showmanship for Nebraska volleyball as they do for everybody else.
Kyle.
Basketball is the same way. It's not like it's this long, drawn out thing when they come running out on the court, but you get the lights, you get the sign above the tunnel.
We have a light show for basketball.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Kyle,
You don't get it for volleyball, and they're the best program in the university.
Kyle, 2 minutes ago, you said you went to Tampa and you said, quote, expecting them to go to the Final Four. You expected that.
Yeah.
That's not something that it's a pipe dream.
No.
We're thinking, oh, maybe we got a chance.
We
this
need
year.
the razzle dazzle
we-
bell shit.
We know this team every year is going to be competing for a national championship in some way or another.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the discussion. Give them something.
Give them something.
Give them confetti
Anything.
cannons over the top. I don't care.
Get them fog. Anything.
Okay.
Anywho,
We get very excited if you can't tell.
anywho,
No, it's good.
that was my like. That's my
clipping
spiel.
that. I'm clipping that shit.
Please do. It just drives me nuts.
Will somebody get John Cook a fog machine? Come on.
Maybe he doesn't want all the bells and whistles.
He probably doesn't.
He probably
He
doesn't.
doesn't need it.
Requested Yeah.
No fuss.
Right.
We win. No fuss.
Take care of business. Just go out there, handle business, and go back in. But for
Yeah.
the players, I would imagine
Yeah.
they wouldn't mind it.
Amy, do you think Nebraska tries to do another volleyball day like that ever again, or is it a
No.
one-time?
No,
What if somebody
Boom.
beats us?
that's not happening.
You don't think so?
No.
No.
You don't think anybody's going to try?
No.
Could anybody try?
Well, I think
Nobody
Iowa
has
did
a big
try,
enough
didn't
Europe.
they?
Somewhere in Europe, maybe.
I wouldn't
Not here.
try in volleyball.
Hear me out.
It was basketball.
Maybe
basketball. And that was
and they
yeah.
didn't
Hear me out.
try for it. They
Yeah.
just wanted to do something cool.
A
Yeah.
program that could reasonably make a run at it.
Penn
Texas.
State. No.
And I still don't think that they'd try.
They wouldn't do it. There's not enough fan support there to literally fill an entire
Do it.
football stadium.
For Texas volleyball, I mean, that's one of the perennial powerhouses.
I know, but going back to the only show in town, Nebraska volleyball is the only show in town. I know there's Creighton volleyball.
you
Nobody
just said
cares
the
about.
only show in town about Nebraska football. So, I mean,
I'm saying the University of Nebraska. The University of Nebraska is the only show in
Red
town.
end.
But I mean,
Texas, there's 1,000 Texas schools.
but I
There's the freaking billion sports teams.
I guess you could make
pro
an
teams.
argument for Baylor volleyball is pretty good, right? You could make an argument
Can
there.
be. Oregon's pretty good.
Yeah, but
like,
in the
the
state of
thing-
Texas,
But the thing that is the most difficult about it is not only do you have to have the finances to pull it off, you also have to have the time and like just making everything line up right.
sure.
The only reason why Nebraska got it to work that day is because football was out of town and Matt Rule graciously said, "Yeah, we'll let you have the stadium for 2 weeks."
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah,
That's a fair explanation.
I like it.
I've got no rebuttal.
She
to
sold
that.
me.
Hey,
It's a
It'll
lot.
never be broken.
It's a lot of work And I don't know who else would want to put in all of that work for one day.
A low key factor too, and one that we don't talk about enough was the weather.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
absolutely
Perfect.
And just imagine, if
it was
it's
the-
raining and it's oh my god.
If it was the week before,
Yeah.
We were
would have
screwed.
fried.
yes, it was. Yeah, it was bad.
You and me both.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ginger
Yeah.
brother.
Well, and then the question
Jesus.
becomes like,
No.
if you take a shot at the king, which right now is the University of Nebraska in volleyball attendance, if you get it, great. But if you miss, is it kind of embarrassing?
Not really.
Like,
I don't
if
think
you
so.
rolled
No.
this
I don't
out and you
think
didn't
so.
get it.
No, because you're
Because, like, we all know the reason Nebraska did it. It was to get that record. We all know.
Yeah, and they didn't deny it.
no.
Yeah, but so like if somebody else tries to roll that out, we know the motivation, and it's to beat the Nebraskan record.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you don't get it and you do all this work,
You know who's going to
and
beat
you
it?
roll out all these stops.
Uh-oh.
Texas A&M.
Oh,
They got the
man.
stadium to do it, and they got the AD to do it. I'm just saying, because he's the one who did it the first time.
But listen, here's the true story though, is that you can't lose. You might be going for the record, but you can't lose inviting a
No.
bunch of people out to celebrate
Spend
some
money.
women's sports, right?
Yeah.
Like
No, I get
you
that.
can't lose.
No,
So
it's
either
not.
way, it looks great.
Yeah.
It's a happy thing. So I mean, you could try it with the goal of like, hey, maybe we do break the record. But if you don't, it's not like you're embarrassed. It's still a great thing that you're doing.
Look
Sure.
what we did for this women's program.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I agree with you on that.
The
Yeah,
the
100%.
videos that because Hurrdat was there.
Yeah.
There were a lot of really cool interviews of not only like fans our age, older fans, but I thought like the coolest ones were young girls that were there.
Yep.
Talking about like
Yep.
this is what I want to do when I'm old. Like that is genuine, like some of the most heartfelt stuff.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say I cried, but I'm not gonna deny it.
I mean,
Uh,
I cried like double-digit times. It's fine. But no, I intentionally went out and did interviews with people of all ages, and I talked about this a little bit. But the one that sticks out to me, it was a girl from like the Omaha Metro, and she's like, I don't know, like 12 maybe, and she's like, "That will be us." I just got like shivers. down my
Oh
spine.
man.
That's
like
so
that.
cool.
I'm just like, oh my god.
Just
And
says
they
a
don't
matter of
know
fact.
any different. They don't
Yeah.
know any different. Like my mom, like her high school got girls basketball her senior year of high school. Not my grandma, my mom. So it's not that far removed where like these opportunities just were not available to us. And so just thinking that they have lived in a world where they don't know any different is really fucking cool.
Yeah, we're like women superstars, like Nebraska volleyball, like those are superheroes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, basketball, even Jazz Shelley, superhero. Like
I love
it's
Jazz
really
Shelley.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
For
heard her
basketball.
tweet. Was it this morning where she said?
Yesterday.
Oh, was it yesterday when she officially said goodbye to Nebraska?
Yeah.
That one, I got the notification for it. Maybe
I love Jazz Shelley.
Yeah.
She's my fave. The Nebraska women's volleyball really reminds me, like you talk about the generations coming up and the girls, they all want to wear the N and they all want to play. They want to be a Nebraska volleyball player. And it reminds me, it's like back in the Nebraska football days. It's like every kid wanted to, play football at Nebraska. Imagine a time where we could do that for all the sports and every kid in Nebraska wants to play for the university, right? Like
Imagine.
make it cool again.
Well, I
I
think,
think
that's,
we're getting there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
I had here, I'll just pull it up. A tweet yesterday, the day before. I tweet a lot, so this might take a second. But I'm like listing off all of the like postseason accolades or just like, yeah, okay, the postseason rundown for Nebraska athletics this academic year.
Mm.
Volleyball, NCAA runner-up, soccer, Elite Eight. Then you have cross country, the women's team 7th at regionals, men's cross country 25th at regionals, women's track and field 25th at indoor NCAAs, men's track and field tied for 12th at indoor NCAAs, men's basketball, NCAA tournament round of 64, women's basketball, NCAA tournament round of 32, swimming and diving 30th at NCAAs with mostly the efforts of one person who broke like a bajillion school records this year. Wrestling, 9th at NCAAs. Rifle, 8th at NCAAs. Bowling, NCAA regionals. Women's gymnastics, NCAA regionals. Men's gymnastics, NCAA Super 6.
So like across the board.
Troy Dannon came into a really good situation.
Yes, he did.
I'm giving Troy Dannon credit.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't care.
But it's like
No, you didn't do anything. I don't care.
everything
Thanks,
is
Troy.
cool except for there's
Football.
work to do.
Except for
Yeah, there's work to do, but we have hopefully the right guy to do it.
Yeah.
great success.
God, I knew it was coming eventually.
How long has he been staring at that button?
I've
just
really
waiting to push that. How many times have his eyes darted down? Just
Great
waiting?
success.
Um,
I love that.
did you have something? I thought you were gonna have something at the tip of your tongue there.
I thought I did too.
And then he
my brain's in a pretzel now.
pretzel. Salty pretzel.
That's so awesome.
Okay.
Oh, I did have it. I got it back.
Okay.
Okay.
Get it, King.
All right, pretzel man.
Pretzel boy.
You mentioned Nebraska ball. I was up in the balcony taking pictures and shit with you in Memphis, and a certain player came over, gave you a hug. CJ Wilcher,
Yes.
officially committed to Texas A&M today.
Yes.
Got anything on that? Like, obviously,
that one doesn't surprise me. He told me the two schools that were interested in him from the jump, and that was one of them. So it didn't surprise me at all. That is one of the places. Well, the place he ended up at, one of the places he was looking at, because he literally told me. So.
Yeah. Well, you wrote that really good story about CJ. Are you surprised that he decided to go explore other options, or no?
It felt like for him it was time.
Yeah.
He is so appreciative of what this place meant to him and what the people here meant to him, because he isn't the person he is today without the last 3 years. But I think it was time for him to move on.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that, like, I'm not mad at all. Like, he put in his time here. The dude, he went through all kinds of trials and tribulations throughout his time at Nebraska. And then this year was kind of like hey, he's got a feather in his cap. Like, we made the tournament. It's kind of a good time for him because other guys are leaving. K-Say's leaving. Seemed to work out, but
it's one of those things where you say you're not surprised, but like us as fans watching this year, it's like this is kind of CJ's in his bag right now. Like, he's found his role. It seems like before it was very up and down, and this year is like, well, there's CJ Wilcher. He found his role. Coach Hoiberg's putting him in the right spots. So, like, just to hear you say it was time, it's like, well. I mean, we thought we had something there, right? I mean, dang,
and
it's unfortunate.
And I come to that conclusion based off of like on background, off the record conversations that I've had with him.
Sure.
But yeah, no, I wasn't surprised. I was sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did cry a little bit because like he's a really special person. Like, they don't make him quite like that, like, all the time. So I was not surprised, but I was still sad.
Yeah.
Did you like his picture with the little cowboy hat on?
You think that's not his contact picture in my phone?
Your eyebrows went up and down 10 times before you answered that question.
She's like, please text me. Please text me. I want to see it.
It's so funny.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Look, like, let people have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Dude, you're a senior in college. Like, the fact you got to do your own little thing again. The glamour, the glitz and the glamour in the picture is cool. Sweet. Good for you. I don't like that he went to go join Texas Trev, but you know what? That's totally unrelated.
But, yeah,
good for you.
You would be hard pressed for us. We are all very pro athlete here. You would be very hard pressed to get us to be angry at an athlete finding a position that they feel is better for them. We understand programs make a lot of money. Players don't. We want these athletes to go somewhere where they're happy, where they feel there's a better fit. So we'll miss you, CJ Wilcher. We wish you were still here. But best of luck.
Yeah. Hey, how much are we at?
We're at like an hour and 3 minutes or so.
Okay.
So we got a little bit of time, but
please correct me if I'm wrong, Amy. So before last year, you went on a few radio shows, and people would ask you about your your record prediction for Nebraska football.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's still April, so like.
No.
God. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Do you know what happened last year? Do you know? I said they're gonna go 5 and 7.
Yes, that's where I was going.
People raked me over the coals.
I was going to give you your damn flowers.
I was right, bitches.
Listen, get them, Amy. Get them.
People were so mean to me, and I'm like, that's what Matt Rule said. Why are you mad at me?
Listen, I remember distinctly listening to you on a certain morning show, and you had said 5 and 7, and I swear to God, I looked at the radio and I said, "Thank God somebody said it."
We said it.
Yeah.
You and I said 5 and 7.
People kept saying 6 and 6, and we said, "Pick a damn side because they're not going to go 6 and 6. They're either going to make a bowl or they're not." And you were one of the very few, outside of us, of course, that said 5 and 7, and I'm just like,
the few, the proud.
People,
The realistic
were
people.
so mad at me.
I know. And I at the same time when I said thank God, I'm like, R.I.P. your Menchies.
Yeah.
They were
because
atrocious. People called me every name in the book.
For real?
A word like I like to swear. This word doesn't bother me. I ain't saying it on the show.
Ooh,
for
that's fair.
picking 5 and 7.
Wow. Passionate.
did anybody
fan
from
base.
LSU do that to you?
I've been called that word everywhere I've been.
Yeah.
every
Oh,
team,
no.
every sport, every
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a goddamn game. Like,
It's a kid's game. Like when we
Yeah.
think about it.
Okay, here's the thing. If you say 5 and 7 again,
No, I would
then
not.
we'll be like, okay, Amy, stop.
No,
Amy, please say 10 wins now. Please.
12.
I'm not.
Because everything
gonna
you
go
say
that
comes
far.
Yeah, you know
You're
what's
a
gonna happen.
sage.
So
That's not true. So if you look at the schedule, you can see a path to getting to 6 or 7 to open the year. I'm not going to say that's going to happen, but there's a path for it. What the fuck was that?
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
really excited.
Wait until you hear
the
Mike
massage
laugh.
parlors next door.
Yeah. Wait until you hear Mike
Ew.
laugh. It's going to get weirder. Mike
Yeah.
sounds like a deflating balloon. Is that what, who said that? Was that
What?
it wasn't
JP.
Caleb- That was
JP.
JP. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. That was Caleb Henry.
No, was it
Yeah.
Caleb?
Caleb Henry.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
So it
clear
wouldn't-
path.
The path is there.
Clear path.
Well, it also helps that they played like the first like bajillion games next season at home.
Thank God.
Mhm.
Thank
Finally.
you.
It's
Open
always
at
been
home.
road, or just some bullshit road game. It's like, damn.
Hey, let's go play in Ireland. That'd be a good idea. Not.
That week was awesome until the game.
Listen.
Yeah. Well, until the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until the second half, it
Well,
was
no,
pretty great.
for me, the end of the first quarter when I tried to go to concessions to get a water bottle and it was full of people trying to get their free shit.
Yeah.
Free beer. Yeah. The stacks of cups.
Did you get a free beer?
Everything
you
was
can't.
free.
Oh, everything.
Everything
Oh.
was free.
Oh.
Oh, because
I-
their concessions, like their credit card
Yeah.
stuff went
Yeah.
out.
I thought it was just beer for
Oh.
some
No,
reason.
it was everything. But so the video that went viral both on social and the one that made the broadcast was my video of the beer line. So that's why everyone's like, "Oh, free beer, free beer." No, everything was free.
What about like merch?
that? I don't know. I think they probably just closed the tent.
Okay.
That would have been smart.
Because that'd have been sick.
But
Yeah, no shit.
yeah,
I'll take
no.
10 polos, thank you.
Yeah.
No, it was crazy because I just wanted a water because like how the sausage is made. Like at that stadium, like there was no like press box like upstairs. All the press amenities were all the way on the ground level, and we were all the way up top. So like if you wanted to get like a water or something to snack on, you either had to take it all the way up there or like just buy from the concessions, which was fine. And so that's what I went out to do, was just like get another bottle of water.
No, you got your free shit. You're like, it's
Oh,
free.
no,
I'm
no,
going
it
down.
was all gone. It was all gone. And I'm like, well, fuck. So, but yeah, no, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, how many home games open the season?
Yeah.
Well, is that 5? I think it's 5.
UTEP. So yeah, UTEP, Colorado, whatever that next one is, Northern Iowa, Illinois. Yeah, so they have 4. Yeah, 4 games to open the season at home, and then they're at Purdue, and then they're home again versus Rutgers, and then they have their first bye. So like,
Give us a number, Amy.
Well, hey, we haven't picked yet. I don't think we can
No,
demand.
no, I don't care. We don't pick till fall, but this is
Yeah.
a too early number.
We preface it. It's too early.
It's a too early number. I'm not
Do
gonna
not
give you a
rake
number.
her over the
So-
damn coals. Chill
But,
out.
but
not
she is
aware.
a psychic, so we have to
That's-
know.
I'm not this early.
Shed me your
Vegas.
tears, Gypsy.
Vegas has the team at 7.5 right now.
Yeah, as we're setting right now, I take the over.
So you're going to call it 8.
I'm 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
As we're sitting here right now in April, which is far too early to be making this prediction
too early.
anyway.
It's too early.
We're clipping that part out. We're just going to put out that I'm taking 8. That's all we're putting.
Yeah. I'm guaranteeing. She said, I'm guaranteeing 8.
Yeah.
That's not what I said. Do not put
What?
words in my mouth.
What? Can you say I'm guaranteeing I didn't say that? Just so we can clip it together so we can make
I
it.
just need you to say the word guarantee, and then we'll.
Oh,
figure it
wait.
out.
No, she said absolutely. We can say absolutely 8.
Y'all suck. I'm never doing this show again. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man,
That's
so
great.
8. Nice. Okay.
But that's just how
I
I,
like
see
that.
it right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
getting any more than that is greedy.
Oh, for sure.
I see people out there like
Oh, yeah.
10 and 2
10.
is certainly
Oh, I
you can
can
get
see it.
there. And then I mean, if you're
Yeah.
lucky, you can get to 11. I'm like, yeah,
Imagination.
There is
What
something
are you
wrong.
smoking?
Yeah.
What are
There's
we
something
doing?
wrong with your brain.
I mean, yeah, Kool-Aid is from Nebraska, but like tone it down a little.
Tone it
Yeah,
down.
that's why we're here, Amy. That's our job to tone it down.
Right.
8
That's okay.
We're bitters.
8 wins is
Bitters
such.
in your Kool-Aid?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're the bitters for your Kool-Aid.
You take your Kool-Aid shots. Well, we're gonna sober you up after.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what we do.
8 wins is such a monumental win for this program.
Dude, if we win 8 games.
Statue.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
a
what's-
little much.
That's a little much.
Hey, Fred Hoiberg
if we
was
win
like
8
a legitimate
games,
conversation.
we're gonna
for
do
a
something
statue.
cool. I don't know yet, but we're gonna do something cool.
Dodge Street.
Dodge Street.
Light poles hanging off.
We'll be
light
wearing
poles.
our new jackets.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
We aren't getting those fucking jackets.
No. but-
I hope so.
You can pay for them.
No.
No.
That's
What?
just silly.
What are you, a sucker? Okay, you free Ireland shit. Come on, give us a free jacket.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm not in charge of this.
Not
That's
yet.
true.
Hey, what can you give us for free?
Yeah.
Not
she
a
got us-
damn thing.
Damn it.
Hey, she got us an interview for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Can we get a subscription to Lincoln Journal Star for free? For free. Come on, I want to read your articles.
Well, pay me then.
Yeah.
You think I'm doing this shit for free? Like, I love my job,
Hey.
but like, I'm not doing it for free.
Amy,
True.
this is the same guy that questioned if you even had a job.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Like an hour
That
ago.
is true.
No, I said when you walked in, I said, like, I meant, do you go to the office?
What'd you say, Mike?
Like,
No.
you're like, I didn't even work today. I was like, do you even have to go to work?
No.
You're a writer.
That's not what you
You
said.
can write anywhere.
I remember
That's not what you
Mike's exact words were, "Do writers even work?"
That
Those
is
were your first
exactly verbatim what you said.
What do
I
you
just
even
said,
do
you have
all
to go
day?
into the office? Like, you can write
That
anywhere.
may be what you meant.
You
but
can go
that's
sit
not
on
what
that
you
jet ski
said.
over there and you can do your job.
That's probably a bad idea, but in theory, I suppose.
All right. All right. All right. All
Cheesy
right.
Pete's.
I need a gavel.
All right. I think we're at the
Yeah.
point of the show. And it's actually a really good segue into that. Amy,
Tell us your
the,
job.
Yeah, tell the listeners where they can find you, what you're working on, where they can follow you, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so my name is Amie Just, but I spell it a little weird. It's Amy, Amie. It's not Annie. It's not Arnie, as some people have called me.
Arnie.
How often do you get Arnie?
I have 3 credentials that say Arnie on them,
Burton Arnie.
including from Michigan State last year.
Incredible.
Arnie.
Yes.
Do you frame those?
I keep them all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I call them my ugly ducklings, the ones that say Annie or Amy spelled with a Y or
That's good.
stuff like that. 'Cause it's like my name's right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
I sent you the request. Just copy and paste.
Yeah, no. But hey, Trev called me Annie in a press conference one time. So.
What an idiot.
No.
That's why he left.
sorry.
You heard it first. That's why he left.
It was funny though. He made fun of himself for it for like the rest of his time here, which was always good. And I'd call him Trav. So
Nice.
Good.
Annie and Trav.
Annie and Trav. What a good show.
Yeah. But yeah, so Amie Just, I'm that on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck we're calling it now. And then everything goes on huskerextra.com, journalstar.com. Most of my stuff goes in the World Herald too. Or for our friends who don't live in the metros, Fremont, Kearney, Grand Island,
Dang, big
Scottsbluff,
time.
North Platte.
Hollywood. Hollywood.
All those western towns out in western Nebraska.
What do you consider Western Nebraska?
You already know. You already know what I'm going to say.
I
Anything
consider-
west of Omaha.
Oh, Western Nebraska to me is Panhandle.
Yes.
I bet Western
Yeah.
Nebraska to Jared is west of Lincoln.
Shut up.
That's
Such a
anything that's not
Anything
the
west of
Panhandle
Gertna.
is central.
West of Gertna is Western Nebraska.
Get out. I know this is your podcast, but get out.
Yeah.
No, he has to sign us off. He can't get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like I'm from central Nebraska, which
That's got to be Western Nebraska. Then.
yeah, that's like Scotts Bluff or something.
Wait,
get
hold on.
out.
Wait, what town are you from? I'm sorry.
It's like
Funk.
Wyoming.
From what?
Funk.
Did-
Funk.
Okay, that's not what I thought you said.
Yeah, most people hear it the other way. The first time.
Where's Funk?
It's south of Kearney.
Okay.
Oh, dude, that's not Western
So
Nebraska.
that's why she likes
central.
Kearney Catholic. She's big.
I went there for a semester.
Bro, the home of
Oh,
Kyle.
okay.
That's
Kyle
Amy,
Larson.
I'm with you. That's central.
Yeah, exactly. It's not Western Nebraska.
Yeah, that's central.
So out there. Okay.
No, it's not.
What?
It's not that far.
I
It's
heard-
2
you heard me.
hours away.
So far.
How
Anyway.
far is Ogallala? Because that's Western Nebraska.
That is Western Nebraska.
Been there.
Yeah.
Like McConnell.
Kearney,
Should we post a map up here for everybody to learn?
You know, we don't have anything on this board, so maybe.
Yeah, we can put fog lights under it.
Geography with Jared.
Please, for the love of God, John.
It's Troy Dannon now. Troy, fog machines and a light show.
Okay, so
Anything.
Okay.
Lincoln Journal Star, you got all this going on.
Yes.
Um,
So right now, I'm working on just some pre-spring football stuff. I've got a couple pretty big, one very big project coming out this summer. It's football related. It's a positive project. Don't worry.
you can't tell us much more though.
I want people to be surprised, but
Fair.
it has taken me. This is April, so since January of the last year.
Wow.
Ooh,
Big time.
something big.
Hello.
Yeah, it's taken forever.
Do you know when we can be on the lookout for it?
Probably July.
July.
Okay.
Okay. We'll definitely be on the lookout.
Yeah, you'll know.
Oh,
It'll
all
be-
right. I
it'll be-
like that attitude.
It'll be an event.
Oh yeah, I am very ready to be done with it already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
shoot. I mean, it's a long time to be working on it. Jeez.
It's been a really long time.
Are you
Just
writing
like-
a novel?
It could turn into one.
Okay.
It's like the biggest like Google spreadsheet I've like ever had in my life.
Wow.
But yeah, so
I'm very excited.
I am also very excited.
Do you have a title for it?
That would
I'd
be
give it away.
that would be giving it away.
I didn't say
Yeah,
to
that's
tell
fair.
me. I just said, do you have one?
I have a working title.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
A working title. It could change.
Are you going to use AI to name it?
Stop.
No.
Did you used AI to write it?
Did
Mike-
you use,
No.
Did you use AI to write it?
Mike uses
No.
AI for everything.
I use AI
Mike
for
is
everything.
the AI king.
How do I spell Amy's name? And it
Jesus.
gives me
Arnie.
Here's 50 ways to spell Amy. Yeah, Arnie. I'm sorry.
Great success. All right, we'll just
Oh,
shoot this
wow.
up.
Let's close this up.
Okay.
Good God.
Go to NBNR pod. Sorry.
Try it again.
Go to NBNRPodcast.com. We have like thousands of past episodes. I don't even know anymore.
A lot.
It's
It's
just
a lot.
It's a whole mishmash and smorgasbord over there. We have merch. Mike's wearing. Oh, he's not wearing.
No,
the hat.
you're wearing one.
You're not wearing the hat. Hat.
Yeah, I'm wearing one.
I'm wearing it too.
Team play.
Kyle, get that on there, boy. Can you get me or no?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I can't
No,
get you on
no.
the camera.
No, unless you go sit on Amy's lap.
Please don't.
That was so
Burn the
fast.
pod.
I believe in personal space.
Yeah, I get it.
It's fair. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
YouTube.
Subscribe,
Please. We're 15 away from 500.
subscribe.
15
That's
away.
good. I'm going to use that.
Hey,
Did that
so,
convince you to
No.
comment, and subscribe?
The opposite, actually.
Kyle, you said we're
Delete.
15 away from 500. 500 is the halfway point to something.
A
I feel
tattoo.
like. Oh, it's a halfway point to a tattoo. I totally
Tattoo,
forgot.
The fellas on the street call them tattoos.
Tattoos.
No.
1,000 YouTube subscribers. We're all getting tattoos. Mike's getting his first.
You don't
boy.
have one?
No.
I don't either.
Mm,
This will be my
okay.
first. When we make it.
When we get there.
I'm
When?
gonna say no
Not
regrets.
if. When? Mike has already said yes. We
Oh,
are
for
almost
sure.
to 500 on YouTube. Go like, comment, subscribe.
Say it.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Oh God.
Oh,
Perfect.
Not goofy enough.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. All right. I'll shut up then. All right. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Delaware.
Kyle Byers.
Connor Cavalack.
Amie Just.
As always, Nebraska, don't lose the spring game, please.
Please.
Don't turn the ball over.
8 times, please, God. And GBR.